groups, it's not looking that difficult.
Well, let's talk about numbers first, shall we? I mean, EFOS Divine did go straight to the final. They finished second with 229 points. That is beneath Buriram, of course, but they have 134 elimination points and 3 Booyah as well. So they do have what it takes to go to the final and be a contender. But I have to be honest, it's not going to be easy for EVOS because looking at the map, looking at the teams that also made it to the final, I see that a lot of drop zones and a lot of rotations are going to clash with Lion, and we all know Lion is so good at playing quick, efficient games. They are quick with the rotation, efficient with the player changing, so I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I mean, just look at the statics that Lion have yesterday in match 9 during the survival stage. They just went for it. They had 25 elimination points and a Booyah, 14,940 damage points with a whopping 20.70% of target shots. That is amazing. I mean, they came with a clutch, and EFOS Divine, looking at numbers also, that's not something that I'm really proud of, especially going through the year. But I think if we're talking about determination, if we're talking about what they are willing to do to actually make that back-to-back happen, they might have a slight chance.
Yeah, and for EVOS, they're going to be looking for Wasana to be able to perform. Something I know you've been keeping a close eye on Neptune is those skills that they're going to be using.
Yeah, especially if he is given the opportunity to get to that Oscar, the Valiant Dash. No blue walls will be safe. No opponents will be left standing in there. And we rarely see it out of Wasana, but the best opportunity they have to counter that, or some of the teams right here, is to add that with like
It all come down to this. Just 12 teams remain in the battle for supremacy on the Gidia City Grid.
Teams who have poured their hearts out on the main stage, and today they go again. So join us as we welcome your finalists to the stage, starting with S8UL Esports.
Lion!
Buriram United Esports.
Loud Sneakers!
AGAL.
Team Apex Gaming!
Twisted Minds.
MEBL Los!
Your reigning club champions, Team Falcons.
Fluxo W7A!
Team RRQ.
And finally, your defending champions of RWC, EVOS Esports! Whether you are the favorite or the underdog, you all have the same goal to lift that trophy and claim the lion's share of $1 million.
Today on this stage, history will be made, a legacy will be cemented, and a champion will be crowned. So welcome to the finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Free Fire at the Esports World Cup in Paris.
It is time for grand finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
So, no time to wait anymore. I think it is time to introduce our teams.
Bom, eu considero muito que a gente é mais forte por conta que eu tenho muita confiança no meu time, em mim mesmo.
It's all about the timing!
ก็รู้สึกดีใจที่ได้เข้ารอบชิงครับ แล้วก็อยากทำผลงานในรอบชิงให้ดีที่สุดครับ อยากได้แชมป์
Members of the Falcons on fire. Loud in the corner. What a shot!
สำหรับผมก็น่ากลัวทุกทีมครับถ้าได้เข้ารอบมาในแกรนด์ไฟนอลทุกทีมคือเก่งหมดครับ
Eu sou muito confiante em mim mesmo e no meu time, mas nada tirando o mérito da Loud nem do Fluxo em si.
ทีมที่อยากจะเอาชนะได้มากที่สุดผมคิดว่าน่าจะเป็นบุรีรัมย์แล้วก็เอจิโกบอลเพราะว่าเป็นทีมไทยแล้วก็ตึงทั้งสองทีมแล้ว
The battle falls in the very end.
อย่างรอบได้รอบกรุ๊ปสเตจเสร็จแล้วก็รู้สึกว่ามีทีมที่เก่งเยอะครับผมเยอะกว่าที่คิดก็เลยทำให้ต้องทำแผนแล้วก็เล่นให้ดีขึ้นกว่าเดิมครับ
Team
ให้เห็นนะครับผมจะทำทุกอย่างเพื่อให้ทีมได้แชมป์
Só queria agradecer a torcida de sempre. Se Deus quiser, aí a gente vai erguer esse troféu aí por vocês.
Nothing is given, everything is earned, and for sure, every single one of these teams on stage today made it here from their sweat, blood, and tears.
There's a lot of teams that is looking forward to this moment, especially those who struggled in the survival stage and those who were watching after that group stage.
This is the finals here at Esports World Cup 2026 Paris. Free Fire seeing its biggest of the competitions and the biggest of names now made their way to the stage. They have unlimited games, but not the same in terms of the eliminations. They have unlimited challenges in front of them, but not the same when it comes to the eliminations because somebody else might take it away. They all start in our match number 1. My name is Lucifer. With me on desk is Neptune as well as Stash Bunny, and we will take you through the grand finals for this very first match.
Yeah, it is loud out here. We have the fans coming here cheering for their teams. We have battles of rivalry, and making it here today was not easy. We had stories of heartbreak. We had stories of comebacks. We had stories of last-minute pushes to make it here. And after all, for good reason, after so long, we are seeing India on the big stage. Lucifer, this must be a big moment for you.
It is not just for me, it is for the people of India. It is for the players of India. It's for the community of India to see for the very first time. Imagine they step onto Esports World Cup and there are 3 teams. And on day 1, nothing happens. Day 2, Team Apex Gaming end up getting 2 booyahs and that rallies up the entire other squads. And survival state starts off. We end up seeing an Indian booyah to start things off. SAT will then follow up. Tag follow up. Back to back. A lot of cascading things happening. And Neptune, you mentioned, out of the 10 games we had, 5 ended up going to India.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that has been brought in by India right now. And this is a real surprise. It's not only teams, it's not only viewers out there, even the talents. Because at some point, they were introduced right here, and there's very little expectation. But now, this is where those were broken. There's a lot of challenges that they face. And again, group stages, like not so much points. But when they went into survival stage, that's when they dominated. Didn't even expect this kind of numbers out of teams. 40% for both Team Apex Gaming as well as UL to be able to get to the top 3. And like judging from the teams that were part of survival stage, that was not easy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. And most importantly, I don't know what it is, the mentality, right? Coming into day number 2. I remember AJ was saying, hey, even if you got 1 Indian team up there, it's already really good. Well, lo and behold, we have 2 onto the big stage. And most importantly, the consistency that came in during the survival stage, during, the elimination day as well, was shocking. It was night and day. I'm not too sure what happened the night before. I'm not too sure what they talked about. I'm not too sure what the coaches were happening. And this is where I think everyone's getting very, very cautious because no team should be looked down upon. No team should be underestimated. And in this situation today, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, everything is going to be earned. That's the status of our grand stage now. But talking about this, there is one team that I'm pretty sure upset majority of the Southeast Asian teams who wanted to be here in the grand finals yesterday in survival stage. That is none other than Lion.
This, and we talked about this. This is one of the newest maps in Free Fire right now, and there's still a lot of challenges being encountered by the team. So those who really make the adjustment and study this hard, it has a good chance of grabbing that win.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if anything's up in the air right now, we talked a little bit about what it means today as you go into the game, right? Because again, the drop spots are going to be swapping. We did have the teams that could all the way to grand finals yesterday as well. So yesterday was a battle of just trying to survive. Today is a battle of going up against the Giants. After all, those names that made it all the way here today had 1 day rest, had some time to dissect the rotations, the drops, the strats, and everything else between. But my question is, can they, overcome the high and momentum that some of these teams had coming in from yesterday itself from survival stage?
Right now, having the high is going to be Fluxo. We've been seeing from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
They've been highly in terms of their roaring noise that we've been looking forward to cheering for Fluxo W7M. Right as now, Solara has started off Team Apex Gaming and Lion. They're fighting it all at Eco Drain.
This is what we're talking about. Lion would be the greatest threat out of India right now because Team Apex Gaming is facing them in Eco Drain. And, well, it's a good thing that KD God does have elevation, does have information. But the only question, though, is who is going to push? Because Joker might have a good chance right now, but not a great weapon to use in those battles.
Here they come right now. Joker waiting in the wings. He's been good with his fights and managing to steal away one more, saving his teammate as well in that process. Still healthy as a four. The shots are good. And the Lions are going completely nuclear right now. 2 in the bag.
We spoke about them roaring and they are not stopping. Bullman in trouble right now. Games King surrounding him. Trying to take a trip down the pipe, but it's not going to work out. Joker is also on the other end. That's going to be 3 big eliminations. Eco Drain completely drained out of Team Apex Gaming.
But that one thing, and in spite of all the engagement that's happening, seems like KD God did manage to pull away, and he is going just into the studio. But on the other side, we're also seeing as a UL. Troll has been taken down, but Jack right now trying to defend themselves against Twisted Mind. But you know how twisted they can be. Lord is just ignoring them, and FP5 trying to eliminate.
It's just nasty how these shots are coming through here because Twisted Minds losing their players one by one. Bunny comes close, separated from Nor, but the crossfire is too much to deal with. The Bats also will fall next.
Twisted Minds, they tried to go for a challenge, it did not work out. SEG Esports, we were talking about this. Their mentality of just going in for those hits, eliminations, that's all in front of their mind, not who they're challenging. And something similar, Buriram United Esports just ended up getting 4 eliminations, almost about to eliminate a whole squad, but that did not happen. But they also need their title. Husky was mentioning the one title that they need in their cabinet is EWC.
Oh yeah, let's see though, because they have been going for the hub drop for so many times already when it comes to this map, and I was just surprised that someone is really challenging them. But going back to challenge, earlier it was Lion taking down Team Apex Gaming, now it is Fluxo who's trying to beat them down, and there goes Joker, not really joking around, but let's see if they'll be able to fight back.
This area is so hot right now because on top of Fluxo, we also have AGL here too. Della barely alive, waiting in the wings, hoping that Fluxo will move away, but they have marked the heck out of him as well. A lot of pressure, a lot of util coming to him, and finally knocked down as well. There we go, Bobs will find him in the end, but AGL wants to challenge this phase.
Oh, here comes a new challenger, AGL right now, and this just looks like a good storyline because everyone is going into Eco Drain, and if you lose this, everything will go down the drain.
It will indeed. Fluxo, they want to make sure that they're the ones who are on top of this. They're the ones who pull that key lever and take AGL if possible. But AGL, they're quick on this. They're on their heels, see the slide rails, and decide to get out. They don't want this early engagement. We've been talking about AGL haven't found their title yet. They've been striving for it. They tried to get closer, but right now, it seemed like it was a distraction. He knocks the player, will try to get a confirmation, but right now Fluxo not giving it, but still he will secure Butsin's elimination.
It's nice seeing this duo was barely alive right now, managing to go for that reset, and they can just bide their time. Wasn't aware that Fluxo would be able to answer back, and they're looking good. Yeah, Butsin's out, but they're going to be able to bring him back into the game, and there you go, so quickly. The only team right now that is currently down and out, at least with only one player left, is Made in Brazil lost, and for the rest of the team, rotations could come in from a different side here, but I think for Fluxo, finding Dio might be key. Spots him out, sees him, but over on this side here, RRQ did cross paths with Yago, and somehow survived. No! Gets him in the end, and Lost wasn't able to survive
spoke too soon, Cash, and now RQ will be getting that 4 elimination to their side. But there's another one that is just waiting in the shadows. It's Team Falcons right now. And this has been one of the rivalries that has been happening in Southeast Asia. But Team Falcons, you know how their signature is. They won't be going in carelessly. They want to get information out of teams right now. And even RQ might be able to be caught off guard, but they are just waiting. Look at the discipline out of Team Falcons.
Information's gotten. Maal finds the opening. Keroro is done for. That is what RRQ want. A strong start. Nero's flushy being used. P9 trouble. Position revealed. He'll also be taken down. At the pair. And more on fire. He tries to pull up the chrono, but for how long will he survive? Surrounded by 3 players from RRQ. And RRQ gets 7 total eliminations and trouble the reigning club champions.
How is this happening? When we saw the Falcons throughout the entirety of this week, they were the ones hunting, they were the ones taking up that space and winning, but now, silence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs silence right now, though he doesn't have the stealth lights to pull away. He doesn't have the Skylar, the Riptide Rhythm, but I'm surprised they didn't use that to at least save their teammates, because they were covered in blue walls right there, and it does have an angle take when it comes to the snipe. But I guess priority is to bring back the teammates. Once one goes down, you always go for the pen machine.
The starting always for Falcons has been similar like this. The story, unfortunate for them. But right now, a change in Lions' favor right now. Twisted Minds, we saw them suffering a little because of Buriram United, but now they change and turn the tides. Twisted Minds, this is a team that everybody did not have much expectations on, but they were the ones who made it at the top in Group B. And now, Diamond, the last man, will have to make a quick run, try to go in for a revive. But when we talk about the revive, look at the circle. It's made a revive of a battle as it's moved completely north.
Yeah, this hard shift's got about to be crazy. The southern side there, the shift, I would call it the Great Migration, is about to be insane. It's about to be bloody as well. And speaking of bloody, the Perang Serumput about to happen.
Well, let's see. This is a replay from where RRQ did manage to take down a few, or not a lot, of players out of Lost. Now, as we look back into RRQ, it's Twisted Mind. They are challenging as well. Pina just got revived, but seems like they are still on no elimination streak.
RRQ have lost studs. They might have gotten the 8th elimination. Rance is in trouble. Riptide Rhythm, Chrono being pulled down. What a shot on the AC-80. Puts Diamond down instantly. And Twisted Minds thought they might be up on the battle because of number disadvantage. And now RRQ is getting closer. Diamond's confirmation comes through. But the pass, he decides that the revive's important rather than an exchange of a battle.
Here we go there. Twisted Minds managing to find a bit more space to work with. Don't want to overstep because RRQ does have a bit more space to work with. They have no clue where the crossfires are coming through here. Sees one shot coming through here. One of his teammates does get picked up by Abe, but they're not done. The knock comes through, and here comes that collapse. Gonna drain down that utility, but nothing really set in stone. Gets one. Twisted Minds getting dropped one by one, but Abe will fall in return. Both teams suffering heavy losses. Wasn't taking into account of the crossfire and the later rotation coming in from Twisted Minds, but Maal answers back. Abe will not be able to be saved here.
And Riptide Rhythm was deadly. If it wasn't for the side turner, they could have fallen already. Let's see though, because Twisted Mind, despite a full elimination, it's RRQ who has the most on the numbers. But who's coming in to join the party? It is Team Lion roaring right now against these two teams.
Jella has already found the opening. Diamond's down as well now. Joker gets that confirmation instantly, and whatever Twisted Minds did is all put to rest.
Both teams are left with one, RRQ and Twisted Mind, and that's when they need to move. Because even before that battle ended, the zone is already moved away from them. There's a lot of travesty that might be happening right now because there's still a lot of teams waiting into the next foe.
And speaking about waiting here, Buriram United, as usual, quiet in that early game, but somehow they've already gotten 5 eliminations here. DAG waiting in the wings. They need to take this fight to be able to get, they would take the fight to keep Buriram United away from their compound. Not happening quite yet, and now Wasana with the sprays on top side, bit of chip damage, but that's not more than that he can can do.
Chrono being used by Team Apex Gaming. They will survive this, but there's Jonah and the shield gun peppering them one after another. Jonah gets a double as well as he puts two of the players down. Wasana wants the confirmation, is not letting them go. Along with Jonah, two players from Team Apex Gaming are put to rest, and Wasana wants to take this battle even closer.
Well, most people say don't you go chasing waterfalls, but Brimride is chasing them away from this area, and now they might be able to get in onto the next phase of Circle, but there's a lot of teams who has been forced into North right now, and we know that they're very near to Riders Club, and we'll have to find out though, there's a lot of contention that will be happening, especially for Team Falcons, who uses that as their drop, but going back to Buriram United, the battle's not yet over between them and Team Apex Gaming. Wolven being shot at with a quick scope from Jonah.
He just got dropped, and now even Sailjan. Jonah is looking unstoppable with his car 98 game. That is 9 total eliminations, and Jonah has 7 of it. He's taken 7 of the eliminations, and Team Apex Gaming still stuck in the same compound. What does KD God and Shoto do to make it through from here?
At this point, just wait. What can you do? You don't want to take this fight. You want to be able to survive and go for that reset here. But as for Buriram United, are they going to go hunting is the question. Might be. Besides, just move away from the area just for some a little bit more time. Could cross paths to the players for Twisted Minds on the top side.
I want to see it all. Buriram United, the same strategy that they have been doing for the longest time. Don't go into the next phase of Circle just yet. Just wait into the edge until it collapses. But there's still a lot of problems that we need to face later on. And from what we're seeing for Team Falcons, they're holding their ground quite well. Despite of not getting elimination, they still have that high ground in Riders Club.
Lion, at least for the time being, safekeep. They activated the Steffi. The painted refuge will protect them for the time being. But now they have to get closer. Falcon shots, they're not connected as best as they would have wanted, and the start has also not been great. However, an answer back is something that we spoke about. Tag have somehow found something. But Lion, their challenge and their entry, and they find a player from Twisted Minds somewhere in the scares.
You know what's really crazy looking at Lion right now? They're able to not only take this fight, but even throw bodies as a 4. Ebos in trouble. Ray barely alive right now, taking a lot of damage for Guacos. And now the Lal and the Wait. And speaking of Lal and Wait, here Fluxo, their members getting completely swarmed.
Oh, this is a battle that everyone has been waiting for. Buriram United going against Fluxo, but we've seen Fluxo lose 2 of their players, and the jump is on, but the set of the zone might force them to move away. MT7 as well as Gia right now just holding their ground, but Jonah with that stealth bites using that Moors. A surprise hit might be done, and great timing for the combination of Wasana as well as get high for that push and probably the elimination.
There's a counter. Geo for the timing, but doesn't work again. The shield gun coming through, and this time it's going to be get high. And Buriram United Esports, they will be able to put a rest to that aggression. And with that, we also see SATUL Esports getting eliminated. A lot of losses, one after another, as Solara has very less space.
Yeah, not a lot of space, and everyone seems to have found a small part of that pie. But the Falcons, look at their positioning on the top of this building, and you've seen how much damage they can do with the snipers, with the long-range weapons, and most importantly, the ones on the bottom side here are going to have to compete for that space. Meanwhile, for Shoto in trouble, AGL putting that pressure onto him, and this guy has been the hero for this team, pulling them out from so many very, very dire situations. But in this situation, they can't do more than that, because it's going to be Buriram United steals away the point, and AGL not a lot of space to work with.
AGL, they have just a bus to protect themselves, but on the other end, Buriram, they have an entire compound. It seems like a farming land for themselves. 15 eliminations. This is game number 1. They're looking unstoppable. Riptide Rhythm, they want to break down AGL. Nothing's working. Flash freeze, Wraith being tossed. Riptide Rhythm again. The AGL might get closer. Doesn't work. Varos is down. Cypher, Nameless, and you trying to close the distance. But AGL, their numbers have lost. 9 eliminations. Again, a player opening found. Wasana might have been traded off by 2. Nameless is going with the Trogon. Moshi holding it off. And now Wasana also down. Moshi, the only one in AGL, somehow have changed this.
Well, a quick revival for Buriram United might be the saving grace for Team Buriram United. AGL did put up a great fight, but 2 is still at it, and he is going for that 1v2. Will he be able to survive? The answer is no, and they were going for a risky approach, especially in this phase 4 of the circle. That HP or that zone will be damaging their HP, and I don't know what could have been done at that point for AGAL, but Rim United was just waiting for it. It's just unfortunate that they lost 2 of their players.
So Dinoculars used as well. Gives away the game for so many of these teams, but Rim United not down and out yet. Loud is here as Guacos will be the next victim. A little angle seen by Rasha wants to be abused. A double swing as well, making sure that no one survives the initial skirmish. And the Lions cannot survive longer. Down and out, 3 teams left.
Thanks to Aim God, EVOS has still survived. But the dash coming out from Falcons, that was crazy. Almost ended up putting EVOS to rest.
Now, this is an ending that we haven't seen for a long time. And no full squad in contention. 3 remains, 2v2v2. But we are seeing Moshi. And there have been a lot of comments where Moshi could have been putting that much on the snipe already. But this is a place to really show up.
Look at the last 3 teams. How much do they have in surviving? Just 2 each. It's a 2v2v2. EVOS, Loud and Buriram United. EVOS are the defending EWC 25 champions. Now looking forward to EWC 26. Loud, they won the very first trophy for Brazil, and Buriram United won the biggest in the cabinet, that is EWC.
Jonah has been a heavy hitter for this game, but a box falls. Moshi, great shot coming in from the area. But the circle is shifting and everyone is just trying to find their space, but Loud is a little bit quicker to the zone. They have positions, they have the high ground angles, and it gives a lot of question marks for the rest of the teams for their rotations.
Well, as you say, first to the circle, first to the win. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it up. And God, not so much of contention. Even with a inhaler, he might not be able to survive. But he did manage to go for a clutch, a 1v2 in this fight. And now he has to deal with 2 players from Team Loud.
He got help from Loud. That is the reason Buriram United instantly shut down. But as you said, it is a 1v2. Look at him sneakily walking across, crouching, making shot. Loud have no idea, but BCP has spotted it. Aim God, SVD, can he connect the first? If he can bring it down to 1v1, it's better, but the information delayed. And as long as time passes, it is Loud that will surround him. And we know Nix, he's such a good player. And once he gets to the CQC, he will instantly put the player down.
He's rushing forward here right now. He's able to just go for that 1v1. It'll be really good. His shots go wide, but they're crunching it from 2 different angles. The respect given. And Loud makes sure they secure that first booyah of the day.
Team Loud. Loud Snickers are the loudest to start the Free Fire here at Esports World Cup 26 Paris' Grand Finals. What a game coming in, and Nix, we knew he had this potential. They were waiting to get to the final, started off, and in the very first game for Brazil, they opened with a booyah.
Oh, this is what everyone has been looking forward to. Who's going to get that first booyah? But we also seen a lot of elimination from the other teams who didn't make it this far. Let's take a look at the replay right now. And this is one phenomenal play coming from EVOS, but it's just unfortunate that the pressure is on, not only on those HP, but also on that zone.
Oh no, crazy work coming in from Loud as well. I think one thing is for sure though, we all had our favorites. We saw our favorite players just completely farming it out. But when it matters the most, that final moment, Loud prioritizing positioning over these fights gave them so much extra advantage to just give them not only the booyah, but those extra placement points.
Yeah, they needed it. They wanted a good start. We've been seeing Loud. We even spoke about it, right? In the group they were in, they were very consistent. They ended up getting 2 booyahs to start things off. But Buriram United Esports, unfortunate for them, they had an opportunity. They should have been the ones closing it. Look at them. Without the booyah, they have 30 total points, 22 eliminations. If not for Loud Snickers, if not for Nix from that far angle, finding a clash and helping Aim God out, we would have seen Buriram with the win.
I mean, we've seen this aside from before. No group stages.
Yeah.
Like, they did manage to get 23, so this is not even close to the record that they have. But I'm really loving this side of BRU. They're aggression is really needed, especially first match of the day, because it's not just a booyah that is needed by the team in this early parts. It's more of farming the numbers to get to that 90.
You know what's really insane? I think I said to them, well, it's going to be a bit more quiet from Buriram United early
southern side would be where teams will be fighting out. Buriram again find one more on Evos. It seems like Buriram is looking unstoppable. They do not want to stop, but so does even Tag. Sahiljat might have been lost, but now an opportunity for Shoto. Mahal spotted, but damage is the only thing that was done. No knock, and good for Shoto is the entire RRQ is still not here, so Tag is rallying towards this fight.
And from what I'm seeing, we have 3 teams on the southern island of Purgatory, and Fire Brigade might need those fire trucks later on because RRQ then managed to start it off with a lightning zone just to make sure that they have limited advantage when they try to go in for a rush on Central, and they are targeting Team Apex Gaming, but Team Apex Gaming knows what they need to be done. Lightning zone is here, just hide out on those rooftops.
And most importantly as well, we also seeing the rotations coming in from
Chicago lost, MIBR lost. They already went out with 0 points in the previous game, and now if they do it, it's going to be even more tougher.
You might be right with that Cypher being the bait, and there goes the pause! The first time ever in EWC, we see that knock up with a vehicle, and they only have 1 left out of MIBR lost, but nothing is at a loss right now. A full revive has happened.
Yeah, and now they go again, this time against EVOS. Aimgod takes a bit of damage here, Battles bought a bit of time, and throughout all that, Apex has already been stolen away into the lobby. Aimgod tries to go for the reset. Valiant dashes away to safety for the time being. EVOS stuck, rushes forward. HP so very low by Aimgod, but now for Ray, gonna be swarmed by all the members of AGAL, not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important.
Not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important. Electrotherapy protecting them for far so long. That is the reason EVOS couldn't fight back. They had only 2 members and them getting taken down. Thankfully, that's not a full elimination, but there was an elimination that happened. That is Team Apex Gaming and Falcons. Seems like game number 2 is their comeback.
LSE, though, they can come back right now. They are just going in the edge of the circle, still hanging on. The circle, still hanging on. The circle, still hanging on. The circle, still hanging. Circle still hanging on that south side, and they thought they might be able to find someone on Central, but they be able to find someone on Central, but they be able to find someone on Central, but they be able to find someone on.
What we've been talking. Buriram have earned titles. They are our World Series Global Champions of 25. Now they want an EWC championship in their name. Falcons, they want to get back to their winning ways that they had in 24. They want another EWC title for themselves and 6 total eliminations.
In this situation as well, the lull, the silence is here, but the middle side of the map is very interesting, as Luxo does manage to hunt down the members of RRQ somewhere there. We see Troll also falling, EVOS as well suffering heavy damage. This map, what looks quiet on this side, is hectic on the rest of the areas.
Let's see now, because we are looking at Lost right now, who might be chilling like a villain at this moment, but we are seeing a few players, not only from Team Falcons from the south, but also RQ from the north. So the pinch might happen right now, but again, we are just waiting for the shift of that next phase. And as you see it, both of the 3 of the teams are in there right now, and look at the numbers that these players has been bringing in. And we have highlighted already, Brim United, the number that they can put in a fight, that only shows why Jonah and Moshi is the best players so far in this lobby.
But you see in the mix of it, there's Dew. That was the reason how AGL almost looked like they would survive. Did not still, but now this is game 2. Purgatory, a lot could change, and that's what Falcons also want to. MIBR lost. They want to change their fate from getting out of 0 points to at least something, but it so far doesn't seem to be the case. Even SAQL, they want their points, but Maal 77 says that is going to be an elimination. And right at the riverbank, will sweep away SATUL's chances once again.
Well, Mal, the deadly sniper from Indonesia, right now going solo. Versus squad still not found in this map, but I know there is a plan. They are the mastermind into the stealth mode with that. The stealth bites using that more skill. They might be heading in to where this engagement is happening between Loud and MIBR Lost.
General taking a lot of damage right now. Bare Life managing to just survive. The pressure coming in from Loud, this high ground, gives them so much value. But Joker, on the other side, they're managing to pick off here, but Loud hasn't been moved quite yet. The lightning zone does come through. General falls, and now Keroro, the Falcons, decide to join in as well. BZP still hasn't picked up. Alright, Keroro finding a nice angle to work with, goes a bit wide, finally getting that shot onto Nyx, but the Falcons as well are suffering heavy damage. Vina, Keroro fall, and right now both teams are barely alive. What are they to do here? Because the RRQ gang has decided to join in.
Falcons had a second chance. They instantly went for the revive. So there is a lifeline for them. But Loud, they're trapped. Trap was the only savior. He used the M79 to bail it out, but he is certainly surviving at the bottom of the hill. And RRQ now charging in. They will get it on fire. That's an added elimination. But can he hold off? Can Falcons actually make a comeback? They're close by. If he holds off for the time being, then RRQ, they might get surrounded once again.
Now that's one thing that we can depend on fire. He can go for the distraction while the rest of the team is setting up. There goes on fire launch pad right now, but it was Limit who was been taken down by a different squad. AGAL has inserted a coin. He is now ready to be the next challenger in this battle. But from this moment, once the third phase is closing in, we expect the teams to slow down, but I guess they are chasing and hungry for those points.
You want to be able to keep up. Again, we started this match 1/3 of the way to match point. You don't want to allow a team to run away with that. We talked a little bit about Buram United having a quiet start, and this map in particular has been extra for them as well. However, positioning-wise, they look really good right now, taking their time, and it's just open areas in front of them. They don't really have to really fight their way into the zone.
Fighting is the only name of the game today. Everybody has to, because of the match point condition that they have to fulfill if they want to become the champions at the end of the day. Fluxo, not the best start that they have also had here in Purgatory. How do they get out of it? They go back towards the vending machine to recover their players first. A revival point is also close, but they have enough coins and they will get the player back up. 4 all strong together.
Now so far for Flux though, they do have 3 of those team boosters put up, and one of which would be the out of zone buff. So that's the reason why they can soak outside of that circle. But there's one thing that they need to worry about. The shift has already moved to campsite, and we've seen AGAL already holding on, taking a high ground, and this is deadly, especially in this kind of situation. Same goes for Evos, and Rastia is just waiting for the opportunity. Might be able to pull out that launch pad. A little bit of exchange though. Hands it's over to Ray, just in case they need to pull out. They will be able to do it and fly away.
The situation here, the wait is on. I mean, both teams very, very comfortable in their little corners of that map. I'm just waiting for this initiation to happen now. Now, looking at everyone right now, the Lion, plays from Fluxo and Lion, later on rotation, would be interesting to see, but Abe pressuring the members onto the other side here. No one is truly comfortable, regardless of whether or not they are in the zone.
RQ is happy they got this spot. Falcons left it and the circle still keeps the position of the containers and they will keep it. AGL, however, they know about this position. Falcons, because they left this position and moved towards the vending machine, they also have an idea. So right now, RRQ have to be wary that they're enemies in the closest surroundings, and especially that they're out in the open, anybody could target them. But targeting, when we speak about it, Twisted Minds, they did that in Group B and took the top spot. And now what do they do to get those points?
Well, let's see though, because they are very close against Team Falcons, and also trapped from behind, and they get the next phase's circle, so no one will be moving away from campsite. But for those who are surrounding as well, jumping in across that river, trouble is brewing. Buram United against Fluxo once again, and let's see though who's going to win. The lightning zone has been triggered, and no one is moving that much because they don't want to hit by that bolt maker. But from what we've seen from Fluxo, they are just holding their ground, not letting Brim ride it in. The gatekeep is on.
Yeah, the high ground here is good, but Wasana great to take away that space, and they are going to collapse. Great work from Fluxo to take away that space to keep the rest of Buram United at bay. MT7 just now almost getting knocked down here, but I'm loving the fact that they're so patient in keeping them away. Now, Buram United forced to reposition, but meanwhile for Lost, gonna take this fight head on against AGAL.
It might be a loss. So far, still no eliminations, but they're close to AGAL, who have the highest in the lobby, 11 in total. Can there be more for AGL, or is it going to be vice versa? It might be a loss. Open up with their very first. Damage being done. Valiant dash being used. Rigby with the Bison finds Barros. That is the opening, and they're all stuck inside the EWE. This is going to be difficult. Cypher also got out. Surrounding with the glue walls. General jumping across the board, and Rigby finds another that's nameless. And then the last to answer with that AGL will be put to rest, and MIB a loss. Turn the tides.
Oh, stuck in one trailer when they thought they will be able to go for a pickup, and with one glue wall, they do have the windows open. But speaking of windows open, window is opening for Team Falcons, especially with limit on those knives. And same goes with Twisted Mind. And who is the target? The one and only Wasana, who is just going solo right now. And that's 1 out of 2 remaining players. Make that one or none of one remaining players out of Buram United.
Yeah, cannot really move, but Moshi is still around. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to survive all the way till the end. As for Twisted Minds, they have all the idea in the world now to take out Trap, to be able to take away space from the Falcons. Now, it's going to be difficult. You don't know where exactly everyone's going to be. The lack of information keeps the players at bay. And while all that is happening, Joker had already been knocked down there by Made in Brazil loss.
It might be a loss. They needed this opening, they needed this start, and now they're getting eliminations. But the next best team after AGL going out is going to be Twisted Minds with 10 eliminations. But RRQ, they instantly get put out. What was this by Fluxo? Butson, MT7, all of them together put RRQ out. And now Twisted Minds, they have another challenge with Falcons throwing the melters.
6 teams remaining, 4 full squad in this fight. Twisted Minds still holding on, gatekeeping Team Falcons not to get in. But on the other side, Moshi, the final player from BRU, will be taken down. Now, battle is not yet over. It is MIBR against Fluxo right now. But from what we see, Butson is just that aggressive F590 hand, and the rest of the squad is just waiting. They split up on a 2-2.
Fluxo, they need this chance. MIB a loss on the other end. Rigby, the man who was finding the openings, he's been taken down. EU is the one, but Glue Wall will protect. They will be able to bring the player back up, but there is MT7. He puts the player general down, and Fluxo are turning this against their own counterparts from the region. Confirmation on Rigby. Ravan and Yago, the last survivors, boxes down. This is an opportunity, but Sid with a dash, instantly trying to put one player down, but he will get knocked with the max 7. Coming down to a 1v1, and it's MT7. He finds and ends MIB a loss.
And now the collapse happens. They have to shift forward here. Twisted Minds coming through. Loud will be annihilated. And somehow throughout it all, Twisted Minds' patience will be rewarded with a booyah.
Patience truly super. No, they didn't really rush in against opponents right there. They know the timing that they have to take. Even got a few eliminations from afar. As I always say, aggression from a distance. And this is where they can get all those points. The only question though is it enough?
Yeah, is it enough? I think that's the question everybody's asking themselves. How many points did we acquire? Where did we end up? Especially because in that last fight, right, except for Twisted Minds who know they got the booyah and they have 12 points, everybody else is wondering, is our elimination as well as placement points enough for us to get back towards the top 5? Because I think at the end of game 2, that's what they have to think about.
It's a good story as well for Twisted Mind right now, because imagine ending the previous map or starting this current game with only 5 points. So they need that additional 20 points from Booyah as well as any elimination that they managed to pull in that game. But I'm really looking forward to some of the shuffle that will be happening on the leaderboard in a bit, because there's a lot of engagement that we've seen from that match.
We are starting to see, I would say, the consistent teams really just rise to the top, right? But most importantly right now, I'd like to say that despite some teams not being able to come play or at least shoot back in map 1, are starting to rise again in this map.
Posso falar. Agora. Bate no X4, no X4. Amassou, caralho.
You can see Loud was happy about it because they again ended up coming in the hashtag too because that is enough points to keep them at the top. However, Twisted Minds from Thailand, this is a team that while the other Thailand teams who are in the top have won titles, this is not a team that everybody is eyeing on.
Yep.
But they managed to get the second booyah. This is why today's grand finals here, we were expecting that anything can happen. You cannot count on one team. If you think Buriram is going to get it, no, right now just Twisted Minds did it. Buriram should have had the first booyah, but Loud got it. A lot going on throughout our matches now.
You did mention second booyah, so technically this is a second booyah of Twisted Mind all throughout the competition. And we rarely see them really on the top 3. 4 out of 12 from when they played in group stage and group B, when they ended up in top 3. But this is just them switching it up. What I was expecting was just Mind to be just all out aggressive. Yeah, they did. They tried to do so in game number 1, but it did fail. So why not change it up?
Yeah, I mean, changing it up is always really good as well. It throws the, your teammates, not teammates, your other people, other teams in the lobby, off as well. But what I really like to see as well is just really being able to just really take your time. Being really patient is also really good. We have teams that are really, really aggressive and high energy, and somehow they just really just run out of gas after this.
There's an interview. Let's send it over to Carol.
Hello everyone, Carol Bombshell here. It's a pleasure to be here on stage with you guys. Are you guys enjoying Free Fire? The first 2 match was amazing, but not as amazing that was for this guy over here. Trap, the team captain for Loud team. And of course, you guys had a great start today. Start with a booyah for sure. It was amazing for you. So how important it is to get off to a strong start in the finals so you can reach the match point. Como é que foi para vocês começarem já com um buiazão aí, né?